Hi everyone, this is Alvin over at Contender Bicycles here in Salt Lake City in Park City, Utah. I'm here to talk to you today about the all-new SRAM RED eTAP AXS road bike group. If you've at all followed SRAM in their road bike component development, you've for sure known that there's a 12-speed group on the way and that it's going to be wireless. However, SRAM has gone the extra mile to distance themselves from this simply being a 12-speed group. For them, it's the start of something completely new, the AXS ecosystem. The AXS name is part of a bigger ecosystem, which includes SRAM Eagle AXS as well as the RockShox Reverb AXS. AXS allows all of these groups to talk to one another and allows riders to customize their group sets to their exact riding needs. So if you wanted to run an Eagle group set with this, you could totally do it with the road bike shifters. And while we really like the first generation of SRAM RED eTAP for its tactile feel, impressive performance, and ease of use, if there was any failing to it, it was perhaps that it was really hard to run a one-by drivetrain, especially on a gravel or a cyclocross bike. Not only does RED eTAP AXS improve on the group set's versatility, but it also improves on the group set's feel and performance in every single way. The key to this group set's versatility starts at its rear derailleur, which has been completely overhauled. You'll find that it has completely different geometry, that it actually tucks closer to the chainstays of the bike, and it actually moves further forward, giving the chain more chain wrap for quicker and smoother shifts. You'll find that there's only one cage option, going from the short cage and Y-fly option, and that here, that it fits every single cassette from 1026, 1028 to 1033 options. The key to this rear derailleur, however, has to be its orbit damper, which allows this single rear derailleur to be run as a 2x or a 1x option. The orbit damper adds no additional friction to the drivetrain like a standard clutch might, but when it senses that the chain is jumping quite a bit, the fluid inside will actually activate and it will limit the amount of chain slap that there might otherwise be. The other part that makes this group set so impressive has to be its all-new crankset and chainring options. Not only does one single crankset allow for 2x and 1x options, but it offers them in a direct mount chainring setting as well. And if the direct mount chainrings weren't already a unique option on this, you'll find that the chainring options, the 5037, the 4835, and 4633 tooth chainring options are also unique and completely different than what you'd see from other road bike options. SRAM claims that the 13 tooth jump in the chainrings actually helps with perhaps SRAM's other failing, which was front derailleur shifting speed. The smaller jump in the chainrings means that you're in the meat of your cadence more often, and that it's able to take advantage of the wider range cassette out back. Additionally, SRAM will offer 1x options for aero chainrings in 50 and 46 teeth, as well as 1x options for gravel and cyclocross. And if that wasn't already interesting enough, SRAM will actually offer a power meter option built directly into the chainrings that allows you to move your power meter from crankset to crankset. Available in both 1x and 2x direct mount power meter options, their power meter is going to offer an accuracy of plus or minus 1.5%, readings on both sides of the crank, and it's actually going to be able to be moved from crankset to crankset without being recalibrated. The front derailleur has been updated as well, with a cage that's actually redesigned to match the smaller jump in the chainring teeth, as well as a battery that's been moved around to fit a 700x42C tire with ease. Out back is the all-new SRAM XG1290 cassette. Sure, it might have 12 speeds, but the highlight here is that in the meat of the cassette, where you're going to be pedaling the most, there's many as 7 one-tooth cog jumps. That means smoother cadence throughout your entire ride, smoother shifts, and a more efficient riding experience. This new cassette uses SRAM's XDR driver standard, which is very similar to what you'd find in the SRAM XD driver with an additional 1.85 millimeters of width. SRAM also says that this new XDR driver standard is going to be available by every main hub and wheel manufacturer on the market, and it's compatible with Zip wheels made from 2012 and later. Connecting all of this is the new SRAM RED 12-speed chain. This features their flat top profile, which is asymmetric by design, so it's flat on top and a standard chain underneath. The cool thing about this is that it allows the chain to be narrower and lighter than before, while still being just as strong and offering plenty of space to provide quick and seamless shifts throughout the cassette and chainring. Now, while everything is completely new and changed, if there's anything that hasn't been updated quite so much, it might be the hoods. You'll find that the profile is really similar to what we were seeing with Red in both rim brake and disc brake options, but they've actually updated the paddle for the controls to give it more of a tactile feel, and they've actually updated the hoods so they're not as squishy and they don't move around as much when you're cranking out of the saddle. Now, it's really fun to see and think about how technologically advanced this group set is, but it's really important to see how this group set works as a cohesive unit. And while we haven't been able to take it on the open road yet, what we've found in the stand that the group set feels noticeably polished, specifically in that front derailleur area. Shifts are faster, smoother, and they never hesitate. Out back, it might be relatively similar to what we found with the previous generation, but again, shifts were quick, smooth, and happened regardless of the amount of load we were putting through the drivetrain. And even though we talk about how technologically advanced this group set is and how impressive their performance is, we didn't even think that this group set was wireless, which might be the coolest part of this entire drivetrain. That wireless performance is the key to this drivetrain's versatility, the ability to run a 1x or 2x options, as well as having the wide range cassette, myriad of chainrings, power meter options, rim, disc, and aero bike options, means that SRAM Red can work on just about any bike that you want to put it on. That's it, everyone. We're really excited to have this group set here, and we're excited to have it available in our shop starting now. If you have any questions, feel free to visit our website at contenderbicycles.com, give us a call during business hours, send us an email to info@contenderbicycles.com. Don't forget to check out our video on SRAM Eagle Axis, as well as our ride review of the group set and this RockShox Reverb Axis seat post. And don't forget to follow us on social media. Thanks.